The Ugly Duckling. On a beautiful summer day, a family of ducks is taking a swim while another is enjoying a stroll by the bank. But one duck is sitting on her eggs among the tall leaves.
I wonder when my babies are going to come out. They are taking so long to hatch. It is so lonely. No one has the time to visit me.
But Mommy Duck didn't have to wait too long. Soon the eggs started cracking and the little ducklings started taking small, unsteady steps out of their shells.
Quack, 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 quack. Oh, my babies are so beautiful. Now come and line up here, all of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, there should be one more.
Mother Duck looked around and saw one egg which had not yet hatched.
I think I will have to sit again on this egg till it hatches. It seems pretty large.
Soon the last egg hatched, but the duckling that crept out was large and ugly.
This little fellow doesn't look like his brothers and sisters.
The next day, Mother Duck leads her brood to the water.
Oh, I am proud today that my ducklings are swimming so well, and how well the youngest one is swimming. Come on, kids. That's enough for today. We must get to the farm before it turns dark.
The duck family makes its way to the farmhouse where there were lots of other ducks.
What is that strange-looking creature doing here?
The other ducklings are so cute, but this one is so big and ugly.
He is ugly. We don't want him here.
That's not a nice thing to say. He is still small, and I'm sure he will grow up to be beautiful too.
But the other ducklings continued to bully and make fun of the ugly duckling.
I hope the ducklings stop this nonsense. I can't bear to see that poor child looking so sad.
But as days went by, things started becoming worse for the ugly duckling. Wherever he went, everyone was mean to him.
Have you ever seen anything uglier than this?
Seeing this creature in the morning, my day will also be as ugly as he is.
He seems to be getting uglier by the day.
The ugly duckling just wanted to hide somewhere and cry. Even his brothers and sisters were rude to him. Mother Duck was very sad to see everyone treat the ugly duckling so badly.
Nobody wants to talk to me or play with me because I am ugly. I will run away from here.
So the ugly duckling flew over the fence of the farmyard and continued flying until he spotted a large moor. He decided to spend the night there.
I am so tired. I think I will spend the night here.
Next morning, the ugly duckling woke up to the sound of loud quacking. He opened his eyes and saw a flock of wild ducks.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Can I please stay here for a while? I have nowhere to go.
You are ugly. Stay here. Don't get in our way.
The ugly duckling stayed on the moor for a few days. He felt lonely, but no one bullied him or hurt him because of his looks. One morning, the duckling heard a noise like a big bang. He lay still, too scared to move. When he finally lifted his head and looked around, all of the other ducks had fled. The ugly duckling also fled from the moor as fast as it could. It flew as fast as its young wings would take him. However, suddenly there was a thunder and lightning, scaring the little duckling.
Brr! I am so wet and cold. That cottage there looks warm. Maybe I can take shelter there.
The cottage belonged to an old lady who lived with her tomcat and hen, who found the duckling the next morning.
What is happening here? Why are you making so much noise? What is this we have here? Looks like a duck, though a very ugly one. I know what I will do. I will keep it with me and wait for it to lay eggs. Then I will have eggs from my hen and from this duck too. Oh, but I do hope that this is a duck and not a drake.
So the ugly duckling stayed with the old lady in her cottage, but here also the tomcat and hen made its life so miserable.
Hey you, don't you get scared when you see your face in the mirror? Look at me. My coat is so silky. Look at my whiskers, so long and beautiful. The mistress says my walk is so graceful.
You are such a loser. You cannot even lay an egg. Look at my eggs, such lovely big and brown ones.
The ugly duckling continued to be lonely. He would sit in front of the window looking at the small pond outside.
How I wish I could swim in that pond. It used to be so nice when I swam in the cool water back home.
Are you mad? The mistress isn't going to let you go. You have a safe house. What more do you want? Behave yourself and don't anger the mistress, the cat, or even me. Want to swim? Indeed!
The ugly duckling felt very, very sad, wondering what to do.
I know this place is safe, but I feel like a prisoner here, being punished by being not allowed to swim. I want to swim. I want to be free to swim and fly as I please. I have to escape from here somehow.
So one night, the duckling quietly crept out of the cottage and went in search of a new home. Soon he found a beautiful lake where he could swim and dive.
Ah! This is such a lovely place. Feels so good to swim after so long. I hope the other animals and birds here are friendly, so I don't have to move away from here also.
But alas, here too, the other animals did not want to be friends with the ugly duckling.
Why does everybody keep avoiding me? Just because I'm ugly doesn't mean everyone has to be mean. No one wants to play with me or even talk to me.
So life continued in this miserable way for the ugly duckling. Soon the seasons changed, autumn set in, and the color of the leaves changed from red to orange and then gold. Winter followed. The forest turned white, and a very cold wind set in. The dark clouds made the duckling feel even more gloomy and sad, so the duckling decided to go to the lakeside, and what a lovely sight he saw there.
What are these beautiful birds? I don't think I have seen them before. How beautifully they spread their large wings. Looks like they are not flying, but just gliding through the sky.
Though the winter grew colder, the duckling continued to swim despite the freezing water, and then finally took refuge in some bushes. Finally, it was spring again. Plants started sprouting, and the sun peeped down from the sky. The duckling was so happy that it was becoming warm again.
Everything around me has become so beautiful. My wings have also become strong, and I can now swim in the pond close by.
Suddenly, the duckling once again saw the same beautiful birds that he had seen at the start of spring, and quickly ran and hid behind some bushes.
Those birds are so beautiful. I better not go near them, or they too will make fun of me. I am so scared that they might kill me. I'm so tired of being picked on by everybody. First the ducklings at the farm, my own brothers and sisters, the hen and tomcat at the cottage, and everybody else. I wish I had never been born.
The duckling went to a quiet spot on the lake where nobody could see him. He was very, very sad, and big fat tears rolled down its face. Suddenly, the duckling saw its own reflection in the lake and couldn't believe his eyes. For staring at him in the clear water below was his own reflection. No longer a dark, gray bird, ugly and repulsive to look at. Instead, he had turned into a graceful and beautiful swan. The ugly duckling had transformed into a beautiful swan. All of the other swans came to greet the newcomer and stroked his neck with their beaks. Finally, the ugly little thing was accepted and loved by his new friends to whom he belonged, the beautiful and graceful swans. A family with 2 children came to see the swan swimming.
Look, there is a new one. Father, mother, come here. There is another swan. A new one has arrived. The new one is the most beautiful of all. Oh, he is so young and pretty.
The swan did not know how to react to so much praise. He felt shy and tried to hide his face. After being mocked and taunted and bullied for so long, he couldn't believe he was being appreciated and accepted. And he was actually being called beautiful.
I never dreamt that I would see a day where someone would call me beautiful. I wish I had received the same love and affection when I was the little and ugly creature. I wouldn't have spent such a sad childhood. Why do people treat others according to their looks? That is so, so sad.
The Mermaid Princess.
Good morning, Mother. Where are my princesses?
Oh, they are all doing their work.
You have brought my daughters up well, Mother.
Yes, they are growing up to be beautiful and wise mermaids.
The 6 beautiful mermaid princesses come gliding into the queen's chamber.
Grandma, look at the beautiful things we have collected.
The queen looks at her youngest granddaughter.
My child, you do not seem to have brought back anything.
Grandma, the beautiful red flowers outside the castle give me more pleasure, and I am happiest when you tell me tales of the wonderful world above the sea.
You shall see everything once you turn 15.
Oh, Grandma, that is so long, long away.
Till then, your sisters will tell you what they see.
When the eldest princess turned 15, she rose above the sea to see the world beyond.
Hello, Grandma. Oh, dear sisters, I laid on a sandbank under the shining moonlight. I saw glimpses of a town and heard the sounds of music, and I even saw carriages go by.
Soon, it was time for the second princess to see the world.
When I rose up, the sun was setting and looked like a ball of orange fire. Soft clouds floated about lazily, and a flock of graceful white swans flew past. It was like a dreamland.
It was now time for the third princess to rise to the surface.
Oh, dear sisters, I swam up a white river. You cannot imagine the sights I saw. Green hills, magnificent trees and plants. And I even saw little human children. But then a weird creature came running towards me, making awful noises, and I had to quickly swim away. The children were asking why the dog was barking so much, so I guessed that horrible thing was a dog.
Soon came time for the fourth princess to venture forth to see the world. But she was very shy and just stayed in the ocean.
Well, I stayed in the middle of the ocean. But I did see some naughty dolphins splashing. There were also some huge whales, but I was scared to go near them.
What? You really did not go near the land?
How can you be so boring? You can see the sea any time, you silly thing.
Finally, the youngest princess turned 15.
Well, my precious, your dream is now going to be fulfilled. Go.
The princess rose above the sea.
Ah, the color of the sea is like emeralds. The icebergs look like beautiful pearls. The stars above are glittering like the diamonds on Grandma's tiara.
Soon, the princess's curiosity was aroused by a ship afloat nearby. She swam close to it, and every time the waves lifted her up, she could see the people on the ship. They were singing and dancing, as though celebrating.
What beautiful clothes they are wearing.
Suddenly, the princess saw the most handsome young man with beautiful brown eyes. As she was gazing at him, everyone on the ship started clapping. The princess realized that this grand celebration was for his 16th birthday.
Ooh, he is so good looking. And such a sweet 16 to my 15.
Suddenly, the calm of the sea soon turned into a restless grumble, and the lashing waves and heavy clouds and lightning indicated a massive storm brewing up. The huge waves tossed the ship about, and the ship tilted over. To her dismay, the princess saw the prince sink into the deep waters.
Oh, my darling prince is going down into the ocean. Maybe I can now live with him. What am I thinking of? Humans cannot live underwater. I have to save him.
The princess looked frantically all around and finally spotted the prince. She held him in her slender but strong arms, swam with him to the surface of the water. Then, keeping his head adrift, she led him to a beach. The next morning, the sun rose on a once again calm sea. The prince's eyes remained closed, but the sun's rays brought some color to his ashen cheeks. The princess kissed his high and smooth forehead and stroked back his wet hair. Suddenly, she heard the chattering of some young girls. and quickly swam away and hid herself among some high rocks. She watched as one girl approached the prince and then went to call the others for help.
My darling prince is coming to life. How happy I am. Will he remember how I saved him?
The princess slowly made her way to her father's castle. She became very quiet and did not tell her sisters what had happened. Often, she would visit the place where she had left the handsome prince, but she never saw him and became more sad. Finally, she shared her misery with her sister.
Oh, my dear, why did you not share this with anyone? Don't worry. We will see what we can do to help you.
Thank you, dear sister. I was afraid you would make fun of me for falling in love with a human prince.
Well, it is very foolish. But you are our sister and we have to help you.
Sisters, my friends know where the prince's palace is.
What are we waiting for? Let's go!
The princesses rose to the surface near the prince's palace.
The palace shore is very beautiful.
Oh, those beautiful marble statues. I wish one of them would kiss me.
Stop acting silly.
Oh, I was just kidding.
I think I better take you all back home before you create any trouble.
The princesses reluctantly made their way back to the castle.
Now I know where my darling prince lives. I can come any time to see him. I wonder if he remembers I saved his life.
The princess now wanted to know more about humans, so she went to her grandma.
Tell me, Grandma, do humans never die?
Silly child, of course humans die. They live shorter lives than us. When we die, we become the foam on the water's surface. The humans have immortal souls and only their body dies.
Grandma, how can I get an immortal soul?
Well, if you find a man who loved you so much that he would be willing to marry to you, that could happen. But child, the fishtail that you have, which is considered so beautiful in our world, is considered ugly in the human world.
I will not give up my love so easily. Let me see if the sea witch can help me.
Ah, who do we have here? Come, come, I have been expecting you. So the princess wishes to become a human to win over the heart of her charming prince.
Oh, madam, please help me.
I will give you a magic potion. Swim with it to land tomorrow before sunrise and drink it on the shore, and you will be transformed into a beautiful and graceful young lady.
Really? Will you do that for me?
Hold your horses, princess. When your fishtail changes to 2 human legs, you will feel a searing pain, and every step you take will feel like you are treading on sharp knives. Once you become a human being, you can never become a mermaid again. Never be able to go down to the depths of the sea to see your family.
Oh, I will do anything for my love.
My price for granting you this wish would be your sweet voice.
What? Oh, how can you be so cruel?
Well, I am a witch, you know.
How will I tell my prince of my love?
You can show your love for him with your expressive eyes.
Thus, the princess changed to a human. She had severe pain when it happened, but her pain seemed to vanish when she saw the prince. And the prince also could not take his eyes off the beautiful maiden.
Where have you come from, pretty lady?
The princess could not reply and just stared at him.
You cannot speak?
The princess shook her head, and seeing her pained expression, the prince took her hand.
Hey, it's okay. I can see in your eyes what you are thinking. Come with me to the palace.
The mermaid was dressed in beautiful clothes and precious jewels. The king and queen were enthralled with her beauty and grace. Everyone enjoyed the graceful dance movements of the princess, which she performed with severe pain. Very often, the princess would catch a puzzled look on the prince's face, and one day he asked her,
I don't know why, but you seem very familiar.
However, the prince did not show any signs of recognizing her, and the princess's hopes began to fade. Soon, she heard the prince was going to marry the princess of a neighboring kingdom.
Oh no! If the prince marries someone else, that will be the end of my life as a human.
The prince's wedding was to be held on a ship. The mermaid princess gazed mournfully at the ocean and suddenly spotted her sisters, all of them with their heads shorn of their beautiful tresses, waving wildly at her.
What are you all doing here, and what have you all done with your beautiful hair?
We could not see your misery anymore, so we begged the witch to give you back your voice in exchange for our hair.
Thank you so much, dear sisters. But the prince is marrying someone else.
You silly girl. Go and tell him you can speak now.
No, I cannot do it, even if it breaks my heart.
The princess dove into the ocean, knowing she would drown, as she was no longer a mermaid. Someone saw her jumping and ran to inform the prince. The prince dove down after her and brought her up.
Now I remember why I thought I knew you. You're the one who saved me in the shipwreck. I love you, my darling, and it does not matter to me if you cannot speak.
The prince took the mermaid princess to the ship.
Father, forgive me, but I cannot marry anyone else. This is my beloved.
The prince placed the wedding band on his beloved's finger. As soon as he did so, the princess's melodious voice returned.
My darling, you can speak? Oh, this is the happiest day of my life.
I can now look forward to a wonderful life with my beloved prince and see my sisters when they come up from the sea.